before the internet was able to spoil the story of the next 3 years of my life. Just because I disagreed with someone's opinion, any form of leak was just a he said, she said situation. An iconic video game hoax is the L is real 2401 sign on the outside fountain from Super Mario 64, where people thought this was a hint on how to unlock Green Mario. Or how about Bigfoot in San Andreas that many players were searching for because their friend told them about it? Or what about the many ways to get a guaranteed ray gun by shooting the corners of the mystery box in Call of Duty Zombies? These hoaxes are just playground rumors, but we're seeing a very similar situation here with all of these Fortnite leaks. While 90% of the information posted by these big leak accounts like HypeX and Sheena are accurate, there are times that their sources give them information that is inaccurate, doesn't exist, or was never going to be. With a fake collaboration leak needing to be disproved by the head of a TV show, and music artists coming to Fortnite that the community believed with no official proof at all. Let's take a look at Fortnite leaks that tons of people believed, but ended up being fake in the long run. When a collaboration is added to Fortnite, you expect the most iconic parts of that collab to be in the game. And the most iconic part of Star Wars, without a doubt, is the lightsaber. So when Star Wars characters were finally added to the game, none of these skins came with a lightsaber as a pickaxe. They were on the map as weapons to use within the game, but they were never cosmetic items. And when they finally added the most iconic Star Wars character, Darth Vader, to the game, he must have had his iconic red lightsaber as his pickaxe, especially being a Battle Pass skin.
Hey yo, what the f?
Fortnite players and Star Wars fans were just disappointed with the lack of a lightsaber pickaxe to chop down a whole village and use the wood to create a giant wooden tower. A beacon of hope was seen in the distance. And on May 2nd, 2025, a mini-season dedicated to Star Wars was arriving. Before the season came out, a reputable leaker, Blortson, stated, "Insider confirmed. We are getting fully customizable lightsabers next season. Fire emoji, fire emoji." All the big Fortnite leaker accounts were saying the same thing, crediting Blortson as the source. This tweet has tons of interactions, so people were just so excited to see this happen and were fiending for those pickaxes. The season arrives, there are lightsabers in the map, but no lightsaber pickaxes in the battle pass or in the files. Maybe a little surprise at the end. When the season concluded on June 7th of 2025, a lightsaber pickaxe was never added. As seen on Blortson's original tweet, many people wanted to, as I quote, "skin Blortson alive." The community did not handle this well. I don't believe Blortson just went ahead and pulled this leak out of thin air. This situation seems to be one where Blortson had a source that was reputable that told him about this. And maybe there were plans to add those lightsaber pickaxes, but they got scrapped last minute. The unfortunate part is, it doesn't matter. The whole community was lied to, and they just labeled this as a giant hoax. Since he clearly stated it was for this season, and it never happened. The hearts of many fans were broken after the reality set they were not getting the lightsabers as pickaxes within Fortnite. At least we got Darth Vader's famous spoon as a pickaxe. There is no wonder why many people, including the leaker accounts, got fooled by this Doctor Who collaboration. The famous British sci-fi TV show, Doctor Who, was rumored to be arriving to Fortnite as part of the Doctor Who's 60th anniversary. In April of 2023, iFireMonkey and FN Assist posted a bunch of information about this upcoming collab. It wasn't just stating that certain skins were arriving, but it was a giant dump of every cosmetic, an event with free rewards, and even images of a weapon that's going to be added to the game from this collab. The skins would have been the 14th and 15th Doctors, a TARDIS as the glider, and many more cosmetics that involved the series. There was even a spreadsheet with every cosmetic that was dropping during the event. The accounts that posted this information stated that an insider went ahead and gave them this, which was kinda suspicious at the time anyways, but who else are you supposed to trust? A few months later, with no sight of this collab at all, FNBR Intel said in a now deleted tweet that the collaboration is on hold due to higher-ups being upset due to the anniversary content being disassociated from the show's timeline. I understand these things change, but at this point, with no internal proof of this collab existing, and the community only really had the word of a few people saying this was real. The leakers even got images of debug menus showing this event here in a work in progress state. And it really did look like some insider material. The fate for this seemingly real collab was crushed in February of 2024, where the showrunner for Doctor Who, Russell T Davies, posted an image on Instagram. On the post, there was a comment from xof.jb18, who asked if they could give any information about the Fortnite Doctor Who collab that's supposed to be coming soon, where Russell T Davies said, "There isn't one. It's a complete myth, I'm afraid." After this, there were many articles that were releasing saying that this collab was not happening anymore. Maybe it got cancelled by BBC, but they did say that it was a myth. So was there even any truth to this in the first place? At that time, it was a hard tell. There could be an NDA in place, and that's why he couldn't say it was true and just denied it. We've seen that happen before with Andrew Garfield for the Spider-Man movie. A lot of people were even saying to take his statement with a grain of salt. Obviously, he wouldn't reveal its existence if he's a part of it. Unfortunately, the nail in the coffin came from the most popular Fortnite leaks Discord, as the admins were able to confirm that this leak was fake. That all the images, information, everything about this Doctor Who collab was completely fabricated by a known troll within that Fortnite community. This information surprised everybody, as these leaks were super convincing, even without any gameplay or true images, except for some PowerPoint looking images with a Lego skin. Honestly, I kinda respect it. The amount of time you need to have on your hands in order to create such an elaborate set of fake images and information that look so believable that you convince an entire set of leakers and fans with no evidence within the game, I applaud you. There actually was some form of collab with Doctor Who and Fortnite in 2022, where a Fortnite creative map made by a third-party team was released. It was basically a bunch of combat minigames, and the map doesn't exist anymore due to a contract expired. I don't see why Doctor Who couldn't arrive in the future, especially now that Disney has a part in Fortnite, and Disney is also a key partner with Doctor Who as well. But for now, the rumors of a Doctor Who collab coming is a giant hoax. Out of any game to be a part of Fortnite, Dead by Daylight doesn't seem to be a far-fetched option to have a collab with. Dead by Daylight is a game that loves collaborations as much as Fortnite does, as famous horror characters like Ghostface, Michael Myers, and Chucky are all a part of Dead by Daylight. In June of 2022, an anonymous source sent images to big leaker accounts that an official two-way collaboration between Fortnite and Dead by Daylight was happening. Fortnite would get a skin of Meg Thomas, who's an original character for Dead by Daylight, and Dead by Daylight would get a llama as a charm to apply to your characters within the game. While the information for this collab is pretty small, the source for this information at this point was reputable, as the leaker accounts have said they were reputable. After that, there was no updates on this collab for quite a while, so people just thought it was probably scrapped or delayed indefinitely. It was until 2024, when the Doctor Who collab leak was proved as a hoax, that the same Fortnite leaks Discord in the same announcement said that that Dead by Daylight leak was also completely fabricated by the same exact guy. Now, I'd really have to respect the dedication. This guy is 2 for 2. To give some slack on the big leaker accounts who just went with this guy's hoax, iFireMonkey did say that this idea could have been rejected from the start and never a true collab, as there really wasn't more information about this, but never stated it could have been faked. It seemed like he still believed that this was a real thing that was happening. This collab and the Doctor Who one are the biggest examples of how playground rumors are still possible on the internet in the 21st century, especially for a game as big as Fortnite. This is almost on the same level as saying their dad works for Epic Games and they found all of these leaks inside of his work computer. When Fortnite Festival was announced, it was a dream come true for me. I love Guitar Hero. I mean, I had to cop this guitar just for it. Well, not really, but this is it. And to have a revival of sorts where I can play as Peter Griffin is pretty awesome. The big part of Fortnite Festival is that every season, there would be a famous music artist who would headline the season, where they would get a skin, cosmetics, and songs from that artist that would be used for rhythm-styled gameplay. And The Weeknd was the artist to start it all off. It became a guessing game on which artist would arrive next, where for Season 2, Lady Gaga was announced to be the headliner of the season, with this banger tweet being the official announcement. Before the Season 3 headliner was announced, a giant bombshell dropped. A screenshot of the entire Fortnite 2024 roadmap was leaked with every mode on it. Every festival artist that was upcoming was a part of it. Next was Billie Eilish, Metallica, Karol G to Snoop Dogg. This leak was officially confirmed to be real when Billie Eilish was officially announced as the Season 3 headliner. And with that, all of the 2024's festival headliners were officially spoiled. At the end of the year, with all of those headliners from that leak were gone, people were speculating who would be next. In November of 2024, right before Snoop Dogg's season ended, the leaker account Jorge Most announced on January 14th, New Jeans, a famous K-pop group, was going to be the next headline. This leak perfectly lined up as the Chapter 6 Season 1 theme for the season was a more Japanese lore themed season. While the group is Korean, people still ran with it anyways. The leak said all 5 members will have a skin, a concert will be a part of it, and of course, emotes and songs. No one really had many doubts about this, as the theme matches the season, they are very popular and had huge songs come out that year. There was just one issue with New Jeans. That year, they were having a legal battle with the Hybe Corporation, who is the parent company of the group, where the company fired the group's CEO, and the members were not happy about that. Fortnite collaborations usually take a long time to develop, as the negotiations with these companies are not a quick process. So if New Jeans was a collab that did exist, this battle was after the collab agreement happened. Nearing the start of the new festival season that they were rumored to headline, leakers were starting to say that New Jeans was not a part of it anymore due to this conflict. That is when Hatsune Miku was teased on the island and eventually became the next season's headline. You might be thinking this situation doesn't mean that it's a fake leak, but they got scrapped. That's possible. We really had no proof at all that this collab was even happening. No references in the Fortnite files, no reports from anyone, and only word from this one leaker. While Hatsune Miku's season was half-baked and a lot of people said that was the evidence on why New Jeans was going to be the headliner before they got scrapped, Miku had no concert, only 5 songs, so it must have been a last-minute addition. The thing is, some artists that didn't have this same situation at all of being added last minute had around the same amount of content. Like Snoop Dogg and Karol G, where Snoop Dogg had 3 songs and Karol G had around 5. Could have New Jeans been real? Potentially, yeah, but in my eyes, New Jeans never arrived, and having no proof of them arriving to Fortnite for the festival season, I see this as a giant hoax. After Hatsune Miku finally arrived to the stage, the next headliner was Sabrina Carpenter, which there was only at that time one source beforehand that said Sabrina Carpenter was going to be the headliner, with an official confirmation by teasing her microphone on the map and then eventually releasing. But during Sabrina's season, out of nowhere, FNBR Intel, who also reported about that Doctor Who collab, said that Daft Punk will be the official festival artist. Daft Punk, the famous French electronic duo, who has insane classics like One More Time and Around the World, and I guess Get Lucky, was a name that everyone got excited about. I personally think they would be a perfect fit. We don't have an electronic headliner yet, so many classic songs, their outfits would just match the Fortnite feel so well, and their songs would be fun for the gameplay. There was one issue. Daft Punk is not together anymore. They officially announced their split in 2021, and they only had an anniversary edition of an album released since then. I wouldn't count them out due to that, because it still puts money in their pockets, but who knows. But when Chapter 6 Season 4 for the Battle Royale officially released, there were posters around the map and in loading screens about an electronic artist that wasn't Daft Punk. Rather, it was Deadmau5. This confirmed that Deadmau5 was coming to Fortnite. So leakers just went ahead and said that Deadmau5 is the festival headliner, and not Daft Punk anymore. The community was not very happy, as Daft Punk is such an iconic group, and they felt that Deadmau5 was such a downgrade, even though his skin would be pretty cool. Less than 12 hours before downtime for the festival season, leakers got inside information that the headliner was actually not Daft Punk, and it also was not Deadmau5, but it was Bruno Mars. What a left turn. Bruno Mars' name was never mentioned in a conversation for the next headliner, except for the day before release. Why would anyone speculate? He already has a skin in the game, why would they add him again? But they were proven wrong. And even before Daft Punk being rumored, there was insider information that Post Malone was going to be the next headliner. which just wasn't true. I think this clip from A Wise Moose, a big name in the 5-fret rhythm community, on the Lore Hero podcast pretty much sums up this situation.
Without a f***ing roadmap to go off of, they're just pulling out of their ass. Yo, Post Malone could be the next Fortnite Festival icon. No, wait. I'm hearing from sources that it's actually Daft Punk. Wait. It's actually deadmau5. I'm hearing from sources that are deep inside of Epic Games. It's deadmau5. Right. It's Bruno Mars. Not a single one of you motherfuckers mentioned Bruno Mars for the past 3 months like you've been doing about Post Malone, about Daft Punk, about deadmau5. Shut the f*** up.
While being a bit eccentric, he went ahead and followed up and clarified what his thoughts are. This Fortnite leaker scene breeds a certain type of clout chaser mentality, both from the leaker and the one reporting the leak, which I resent. These leakers are trusted by the community to report true information. Yet they're still posting about things that were told them by inside sources, even though they're not really vetted very well. deadmau5 did eventually release in the item shop as a skin with some songs, emotes, and the whole ordeal, but he was not the headliner. There were even people saying deadmau5 was actually scrapped as a headliner and turned into a shop skin, as there was a promo image for Fortnite Festival that had a render on there about him. But deadmau5 himself on Reddit said that it just wasn't true at all. At this point, I would take any festival headliner leak with a grain of salt. Unless they say Playboy Cardi's gonna be next and that's fake, I'm gonna crash out. Before the release of Chapter 6, there were leaks already going around about the upcoming themes for the season. And Season 1 was a Japanese-themed season, with collab leaks that actually came true, like Godzilla, Marvel Rivals, Avatar, Cyberpunk, and a second wave of Spider-Verse skins. It was also said that the popular anime Demon Slayer was going to be a part of the season as well. It makes sense, right? A Japanese-themed season with elements of fighting demons. It's gotta be true. There was even text in the game that was leaked that pointed towards this being true, like defeat demons with your squad, Demon Island, and Demon Hunters. At that moment, all of those texts had to do with objectives within the season, as there are demons in demon-themed areas. Now that the season's over, where's the collab at? I think in this case, there was actually no insiders giving information, but rather giant assumptions based on the theme as well as in-game text that referenced parts of the gameplay. The whole Demon Slayer collab was just a giant nothing burger of fake information. The way Hypex worded the tweet is a part of the problem with these leaks. There is no evidence for this collab, just rumors or assumptions. To many of us, it looks like it is coming soon. And with the reputation these big leaker accounts have, it's truly irresponsible. I mean, yeah, Demon Slayer is most likely gonna come to Fortnite soon, but it's like saying The Simpsons predicted the future. There's so many anime collabs, of course Demon Slayer, a very popular one, is gonna eventually come to the game. Who knows when it actually might arrive. Let me know about any fake Fortnite leaks or hoaxes that I may have missed. Leave a like and subscribe, and check out the last video I made about lost media within Fortnite.